What's going on, guys? My name's Theoatrix, and today I'm going to be talking about all of the imbueable items in RuneScape and their differences between their unimbued version. Getting straight into it, I'm going to start off with the Nightmare Zone imbueable items. Firstly, the rings. At the Nightmare Zone, you can imbue all of the Dagonoth King rings, the Wieldy Boss's rings, and also the Ring of Suffering. Imbuing any of these rings actually doubles its original bonuses, and the best one out of the rings has to be the Berserker Ring Eye, which gives a +8 strength bonus. The Warrior's Ring Imbued gives double its original slash bonus and defense bonus, so it gives a +8 instead of a +4, but honestly, the Berserker Ring is way better for both training and bossing, so the Warrior Ring should only ever be used if you can't exactly afford a Berserker Ring. The Archer's Ring gives +8 range bonus, which obviously makes it the best in slot for ranged, and then the Seer's Ring gives a +12 magic bonus, which makes it by far the best in slot for magic. But since a Ring of Suffering and Ring of Recoils are better at Zulrah, the price is pretty low for the Seer's Ring, and also at raids, you'd use an Archer's Ring instead of a Seer's Ring. So the Seer's Ring itself is pretty much used a lot less than the Archer's Ring, except for things like Slayer tasks where you might be bursting or training magic. The Treasonous Ring Imbued gives a +8 stab bonus and is really useful for the Corporal Beast, and it also gives a pretty good bonus against dragons, which are weak to stab. The Tyrannical Ring gives a +8 to the Crush attack and defense styles, and this one is really good for places where you're using the Dragon Warhammer, because the higher Crush bonus increases your chance of hitting something. It doesn't increase your hit, it increases your attack, so how often you hit, and the special attack only lowers the enemy's defense if you hit something. The Ring of the Gods Imbued gives a +8 prayer bonus instead of a +4 prayer bonus, which is actually a ton better since an extra +4 prayer bonus actually slows down the prayer drain rate by 13.33%, which essentially saves you a full prayer potion every 8 prayer potions that you drink. So all in all, this one is very useful to get. When you're imbuing the Ring of the Gods, you actually need to have a Holy Wrench in your inventory, because without it, you can't actually imbue the ring. It doesn't let you unless you have the wrench, but it doesn't actually consume the wrench, which is kind of weird. What happens is it gets the same effect, so just by wearing the ring, it gives about 2% more prayer points per dose that you take. The Ring of Suffering Imbued doubles its regular stats and gives +20 in all of the defense styles, which is really good for a ring, and it also gives a +4 prayer bonus, which is also really useful in a ring. Another item that you can imbue at the Nightmare Zone is the Slayer Helmet or the Black Mask, and the effect for both of these imbues is the same. The original helmet and mask gives a 16.67% damage and accuracy boost for melee, but the imbued version gives an extra 15% accuracy and damage for magic and ranged as well, so this is probably one of the most essential imbues that you should get for Slayer. Imbuing the Salve Amulet has a similar effect to the Slayer Helmet imbue. The original Salve Amulet gives a 15% increase to attack and strength on undead monsters, but then the imbued ones moves this to magic and ranged as well. You can actually imbue the crystal items at the Nightmare Zone, and imbuing them keeps their highest possible bonuses when they're in a degraded state. So for those that don't know, as a crystal item degrades, so the bow, the halberd, and the shield, their stats actually slowly decrease as well as it degrades. So imbuing it removes this chance of decreasing, and it doesn't decrease at all. It just stays at the highest level. You can actually imbue a couple of items in the game from the scroll rewards from the Bounty Hunter rewards shop, that green guy in Edgeville. You can buy these scrolls on the Grand Exchange as well. The first is the Ring of Wealth scroll, which imbues the ring, and what it does is it doubles the chance of getting a clue scroll from any monster that you kill in the wilderness. So using this ring on Hellhounds is really effective for getting hard clues from them, because the drop rate goes from 1 in 64, which is already really low as it is, down to only 1 in 32, which is very common for something like a clue scroll. The other imbueable item from the Bounty Hunter store is the Magic Shortbow, and when it's imbued, it actually gives an extra +6 range bonus, and on top of that, it changes the special attack so that it only uses 50% of the special bar instead of 55, so that means you can do 2 special attacks, one after the other, and that can make it really good for PKing on a ranged pure, not just for the special attack, but the extra +6 range bonus. I might make a video soon on my pure testing this out, so look out for that. The last item I'm going to include in this video is the Imbued heart. Even though you don't really imbue it, it's just in the name, but since it is imbued, I'm still going to include it. The Imbued heart is a drop from superior Slayer monsters, and the drop rate actually varies for each type of monster that you kill. It actually is used to give the best magic level boost in the game, and it gives a +1 boost plus 10% of the player's level. So if you have 99 magic, it boosts you all the way up to 109 magic, whereas the magic potion, which is the other alternative, only boosts you to level 103. Anyways guys, I hope you learned something today about the imbuable items in Oldschool Runescape. Now it's time for clip of the day, and today's clip is from maplelongbow, who managed to get a 3rd age plate legs drop on his 9th hard clue scroll. Just like that, he got himself 65 mil to add to his bank account. Well done, man. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe if you're new, and as always, thanks for watching and have a nice day.